Hey, welcome to the podcast series today. This is We Don't Play, and I'm your host, Flav Beats, and my name is Favor Obasi Ike. So you can check me out on LinkedIn, check me out on Facebook, anywhere you can Google FLAEVBEATZ or Favor, which is FAVOUR. You can find me. So I'm your host as usual, and I'm bringing this episode to you in a different way today because I know for one you're wondering why it's quiet like this, but that's one of the reasons why I'm doing it like this today, and you will get to know as we get along. So what are we talking about today? I think today I want to go specifically into the 4 steps to build your social media feed and stories. So this is one thing I've realized on social media. A lot of people don't know how to use their stories, and a lot of people don't know when to post their timeline feed. And the reason why I'm saying like that, or just stuttering stuttering like that, is because I'm just trying to find a balance. I'm just trying to figure out why. And people don't understand the power of social media because you have to use your social media to attract your audience at the right time. I was talking to a friend not too long ago, and she was like, I post my stories at night, or I post my posts at night, and I don't get the reach. That's because within the first hour of your post, however well it's doing, within that first hour determines how it's going to do for the rest of the 23 hours. Because how it works is your post has to be relevant to whoever is watching or following you. And when you post stuff, you have to post it at the right time so that people can see that post and absorb that content within that time frame. And you have to give them value, and you have to be consistent. So when you're doing stories, when you're doing videos, when you're doing pictures, don't just post anything. And another thing you have to realize is that the thumbnail on your Instagram feed really matters. And how you can do that is when you go to your Instagram, upload a video, when you now see the section where it tells you filter, trim, and cover, you go to cover. And when you go to cover, you can slide your finger across the timeline and pick the best look of that video so that whoever's watching your video or bumping into your Instagram the first time can see something that's captivating to allow them to watch. So you have to be strategic with how you do stuff. So I want to go right into it and tell you the 4 steps on how you can build your social media. And I'm going to be very detailed on this podcast episode today so that you guys have value for your time. I know in some episodes I do talk a lot and I do a lot of stuff in between, but I'm really trying to re-strategize so that I can give you guys the utmost value for your time and for listening to this podcast. So I really appreciate you. Like I look at the statistics and I see that you're tuning in from all these countries, and I'm so excited that every single one of you have been able to tune in at least once or twice, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. Like everyone listening in the United States, in Thailand, in Laos, in Kenya, in the United Kingdom, in Nigeria, in the Netherlands, in Canada, in Taiwan, in Philippines, thank you so much. If I've missed out any of the countries, I will definitely shout you out, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. So let's get into it. 4 steps. The first step, and you can actually check this information on my Instagram. If you type in Flav Beats, you will see this post and you will see the caption where I talked about it. And you will see that the first four are really important, because these 4 steps literally take your page from 0 to 100 real quick. And there's no wrong doing in posting every day, but you have to make your post consistent and relevant to your audience. So, number 1, design your posts. And when I mean by design your post, I mean get somebody to put your post together, or go on YouTube and understand how posts are done. Because like I said in the beginning, when you choose cover, those things matter on how the presentation on your Instagram looks. You have to leave an impression. You want someone to click on it, because you don't want someone to click on a page that is not attractive. You have to think about your colors. You have to think about what theme you're using. Do you have a template to talk about your quotes? Are you talking about something specific? Do you have videos you can, put together so that when people watch it, they're not just watching weird clips? You can put those clips and make them into something that's fun, so that people can be like, oh, okay, this person put their time to actually put this together. It doesn't have to be too fancy. Look at what the Shade Room is doing. Look at what Nike's doing. Look at what... There's a lot of companies doing that. So I don't want to just keep going. Apple is doing that too. But when you look at their particular reach and how they do things, you respect that brand. You respect that partnership. You respect that creative brand storytelling, because the way you design stuff really tells people how you treat yourself or how you take care of yourself. So your posts have to be clean, they have to be catchy, they have to be color striking, and they have to serve a purpose. So when they do those 4 things, then you can be able to create a brand and make your best look for your image. And like I tag people, you see, I'm talking about tagging, and I also got a message. So when you tag people, you have to make sure that the people you tag are in line with what you do. And what I mean is, when you work with people, you got to credit them. You got to give them the value, and you got to give them the need to feel appreciated and actually have a reward by getting somebody else to reach out to them because they did something for you that's good for you. So I'm talking about 2 people, Benson and Mike. Those are 2 amazing people you can reach out to. They're on Instagram. You can check them on the same caption in my Instagram, and you will find exactly what I'm talking about when you check out their pages. Very nice, very clean, very organized, but very, very, very sophisticated. So you got to design your posts. You can use Canva, you can use Adobe, you can use anything to make your post pop. But the problem is, don't do something that is not intentionally going to bring in the results that you need for your desired post. Because you don't want to just use filters, because they're all filters everywhere. You can't use all the filters. You can't. You just cannot. So you just need to create something that works for you. And when you see it catching a wave, the next thing is what you do. The next thing you do is take that wave and ride it, exhaust it, stretch it, make that post feel like somebody has seen that and they feel like they want to do more. They want to feel like they're part of something. So you have to make sure that that post is engaging, that video is catchy, that cover is exciting, something is inspiring, something is impactful, something is eye-catching, and that way you can be able to start seeing people loving your posts. Imagine people who take photos of like landscape photography or weddings. Those are just random things that happen every day. But whoever is behind that camera probably put that picture in a kind of way that makes you want to actually double tap on it. I was about to say double click on it. Double tap on it. And when you double tap on it, that's when you'll be like, oh, this is really, really nice. because you feel like it's an actual good photo. That's the same way somebody should feel about your post when you post stuff, because in as much as it can just be a letter, it can just be something normal. But if you don't paint your canvas, if you don't fill it, no one's going to fill it for you apart from yourself. So you have to bring that to the light and use different platforms to bring that out. You can use this app like Snapseed. You can use this app called PhotoGrid. There's so many good apps you can use these days to just make your colors and make your photos and videos look great. Use InShot as well, INSHOT. Yeah. So that is what I would say for design your posts. You see, I'm being very detailed today so that you guys can get the best out of everything. The next thing is schedule your posts. This cannot be said enough. When you don't schedule your posts, what happens is you start racing time, you start fighting time, you start delaying time, you start dragging, and before you know it, it becomes exhausting. And I know how it feels when you keep posting and you forget to post, or something happened and you don't know what to write, or you don't know what caption to use, or you don't know what hashtags to use. All that stress can be eliminated with one app, and that one app is called Later, Later. Go to later.com, sign in, sign up, get your account, get your premium account, because the premium account is very, very good for everything that you want to do for your Instagram, because it incorporates Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. And what it does is it creates that build, that trust, that inspiration, that flow, that expression, and definitely that organizational flow chart for your posts, because whatever you're designing, whatever you're putting out there has to be posted, right? And when it's posted, it's posted at a specific time. And that time that you post is very, very important, because when you post it, you want someone to see it. And when they don't see it, who loses? You lose. So you don't want that to be you. And for that to not be you, I would say use Later to schedule your posts in advance. You can also use a free version, which allows you to post at least 30 times a day. I lied. 30 times a month, which is one post a day. So you can do that for yourself, test it out, see how it works, and see what results it does for you. Because another thing is, like I said in the last episode, when you use words, when you use things in your creative brand strategy or whatever you want to do, you have to have an intention. You have to design it in a way that somebody can say, oh, this is catchy. Oh, why are we doing this? Oh, we're doing this in support of blah, blah, blah. All those things have to be intentional, and they all have to come back full circle. So when you schedule your posts, know what time to schedule them, know how you can enhance your stories. The amazing feature about Later is that you can also schedule your stories. Imagine if you have your stories scheduled, you have your designs ready, you have your posts scheduled. Imagine all through the month you don't have to touch anything, because you spent at least 2-3 hours just branding everything for a month, and then you don't have to worry about Instagram, and you'll be good. Instagram should not take your time. Facebook should not take your time. These are things that people are on because they want to see stuff, but not everybody that posts stays online, because they post to post and post away. So don't be the one that just stays there all the time. So schedule your posts and use the app. Number 3, engage your posts. I will say this: don't leave a comment unanswered, because the algorithm serves a great deal for you when you post a reply of at least 4 words. Like, you need to use at least 4 words. So when somebody says happy birthday and you say thank you, okay, everybody says thank you, but you need to be more specific and personalize that thank you so that whoever is reading it or whoever is being responded to can feel like they're being talked to, and they're not just being given an oral response like, hey, thank you. No, you have to be intentional about how you do that. So when you create that engagement, you tell people how you feel, and that gives Instagram the algorithm that's right within that first hour to generate that interest so that people can be able to add more comments to that post. You don't have to post and respond all the time, but when you engage, you build traffic, and when you build traffic, you add followers and you add value to yourself. That's just the bottom line. I mean, it makes sense. It's just logic, So what I would say is engagement is the talk of the town. So what you need to do is add value to your captions and responses by building at least a steady following by using an average number of words, about 65 to 70 words on your post. And if you use those every day, you don't have to use all 70, but within at least 3 posts, let at least one, you know what I'm saying? Let just one have that stand, because you want people to read your posts. Instagram is like a news feed, but when people are reading about stuff, they want to read stuff that makes sense, that is in context, and that relates to them. So if you're doing anything that people are following you for, you have to give them value, and you have to answer their questions without them having to ask you, because you already know the answers, because that's why you're doing it. So you have to think like a little bit outside the box so that you can create that influence for people to understand what you're talking about. Comprende? Yeah. So that's what you need to do. And then number 4, which the last one I would say, is promote your posts. And when I say promote your posts, I don't mean just blast a Facebook ad or blast an Instagram ad. Those things don't work. They just don't. I've been studying this thing for years now. I've had Facebook since July 2007. So I've really, really, really been understanding not Instagram, Facebook for a long time. Instagram, on the other hand, I started I think around the same July, but that was 2012. So I'm 8 years in Instagram, and I'm about I'm about 13 years on Facebook. So I just have learned how the media works, but I haven't used it to the max. But I've done it in a way that I know, okay, this is the kind of attention I need when I want to pull a crowd or when I want to do something. By designing them, scheduling them, engaging them, and definitely promoting them. So when you promote them, you got to use Google Ads. Use the free 30-day trial on LinkedIn and learn about Google Ads on LinkedIn Learning, or just go on YouTube and search about it so you can get the best information about that. And then when you use that, you can be able to create campaigns, create polls, do something that people can be like, oh, this is dope. Let me know what people are talking about. So imagine you're doing a poll, you're doing something that attracts the audience, attracts the right people. Then before you know it, you have a set audience checking out your stuff because you have something to offer. And when you promote your posts, don't promote it and just place any amount of money. You have to know the sweet value number for what you're doing. I'll say this. The sweet number is $6.25 a day for Facebook. And according to Facebook, I would say if you really, 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 really know what you want to do, and you actually have the money and you want to like invest your Instagram to do it, I would say spend at least $10 a day on your ads. So that's what, $300 a month. That will definitely put your stuff like all the way out. And I don't mean using all your $300 on one post. You can use like $30 on one post, $50 on another, spread it out. But you have to do it in a way that $6.25 can pick up, or the $10 can pick up somewhere where you can be able to be like, okay, I'll use this for 3 days. I'll use this for 5 days. But if you want to do the whole thing, then do it in a lifetime budget kind of setup so that whatever you're doing can work. Use Google ads, use Facebook ads and Instagram ads, but you have to use them right. You just have to use them right. So that's all I will talk about for now. And in the next segment, you're going to hear about an updated performance list and so much more. I'll talk about it there. Talk to you in the next episode.